Like to talk, please come inside. And remember, there's a 3-minute limit.
This isn't recording sound, right now? All right, we're just...
Thank you. Hello. Hello there, how are you? Please line in up here. You have 3 minutes. What number am I? Number 4.
Mr. Secretary, sir.
Always everything. Everything well? My shoulder hurts. I'm trying to. My shoulder's still. Yeah. I don't know what it is. It's a frustration. Like the safety of
ready yet.
Yes, thank you. Perfect. I got one.
Last call for registering. Last call for registering if you wish to speak tonight. Come on up.
If anyone would like to speak at the public participation, please come up here now, please.
But I'm not ready yet.
Okay, I'm not ready.
Yeah, there's a small one. There's also a flag on the front of the banner.
Last call. Last call.
Oh, thank you.
allegiance to the flag Thank you all. Before we begin tonight's proceedings, we have one of the councilmen of Community Board 10 that dropped by to give us a few moments and a few words. So without further ado, I introduce Councilman Andy King.
Really? Hello? Can you hear me now? Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
I wanted to stop by. I haven't had to coach my team.
No, don't hear me? Okay. Here we go again. I wanted to stop by this evening. My team normally stops by to the community board meetings that I represent in the council district. For those of you who do not know, I'm Councilmember Andy King. I represent the 12th district of the Bronx, which includes Co-op City, Baychester, Edenwald, Eastchester, Gun Hill, and Fish Bay sections of the Bronx. So far as Bronx next section, I'm pretty much a visitor. I drive through, I hang out with Jimmy Baca from time to time. But this is his neck of the woods, but I did want to come by and say hello to each and every one of you, letting you know whether you live in Co-op City or you just live in any part of the Bronx. Even though we are designated to have particular districts throughout the city, we as council members are still responsible for all New York City. And as a council member from the Bronx has a special place on my heart. This is where I was born and raised. So it doesn't make a difference if you're on Edgewater Park or if you're on 216th Street Park. You know, I'll do all that I can as a council member to make sure that you're represented when we're downtown. Jimmy and I, we're both on the budget and negotiating team for the city council. So we make sure we stand strong together to make sure that all our residents and our communities in the Bronx get proper funding for whatever programs, whatever community boards that we got to advocate for to make sure we stay strong in the Bronx. So I just wanted to stop by and say hello. I know there's a spirited conversation that may take place this evening. I'll pray for you all. Please keep your hands in your pockets.
You got a mic on?
Well, I guess that was my cue to tell y'all have a wonderful, wonderful meeting. I love you. So do I.
I disconnected. No, I disconnected. Wait, come up closer. I just want to introduce the other government agency reps that we have here, other than our distinguished guests. From the Borough President's Office, we have Mr. Andy Toledo. You here? From Assemblyman Benedetto's office, we have Mr. Leon Tolton. From Councilmember Baca's office, we have Ariel Alvarez. Okay, we also have Ms. Jessica Reynoso from the Public Advocate at the James office. Usually we give Patrick Braccio, or the Bronx Times reporter, his due. Would you stand up, Patrick? We also have some other media guests tonight, so let's all be on our best behavior so that no one thinks anything negative of us. So at this point, we will begin the public participation session of the meeting, and the first speaker will be Mr. Joseph Russo, who is also the chair of our Municipal Services Committee. You need a mic? You don't have it? Is it working? Yes.
Thank you. I'm speaking here today as a member of the public. I'll speak later as the chair of the committee.
basically what this email is saying is that the community board, without a proper vote, has passed a transportation initiative that will literally destroy our neighborhood. This board has not passed anything. This is the third month in a row that this initiative is being put before the board. It's been discussed at the municipal service committee 3 months in a row. Nothing has been passed. And if they vote down tonight, that's it. It's a done deal. No one's ramming this down anyone's throat. It's a vote that's going to take place tonight, and we'll decide what to do. Next thing, this initiative will literally destroy our neighborhood at Throgs Neck, Tremont Avenue, between Bruckner Boulevard and Westchester Square. It's going to be converted to 2 lanes from its current 4 lanes. Again, another lie. Westchester Avenue to Bruckner Boulevard will be 4 lanes. 2 lanes going eastbound, 2 lanes going westbound. The only thing that they're putting in the proposal is through the area where it intersects with the cemetery, from Waterbury to Baisley, to trim the road to 1 lane with a turning lane. No one's turning into the cemetery, so it's people turning off of Tremont Avenue. And also in that part of the 3-block area, to widen the parking lane so the buses can get in and out, and ambulances can get in and out without going into oncoming traffic. That's the proposal. It's the same proposal we discussed in March. It's the same proposal we discussed in April. It's the same proposal we discussed in May. No one's talking about converting Tremont Avenue from 4 lanes to 2 lanes from Bruckner to Westchester Square. That's a lie. A median with landscaping will be placed in the middle, leaving no space for parking and only allowing 1 lane going in each direction. Once again, another lie. There is no median being placed. There is no landscaping in the middle of Tremont Avenue. The middle of Tremont Avenue, that 3-block area, will be a turning lane, which will be done for any emergency vehicles or anything else going that way. Tonight is our only chance to show our solidarity in opposing this project. Again, another lie. Tonight is the 6th and hopefully last chance to show solidarity. Everyone here has been invited to the Municipal Service Committee in March, April, and May. Everyone here has been invited to the community board meeting in March, April, and May. This is not the last. This is not that only chance. There's been 6 chances for people to express their opinion. If you can make it, please come. I agree with that one. There's one truth in this whole thing, so I'm glad everyone's here for that. This will affect traffic, safety, and the ability of local businesses to make their living. Please share this with your fellow neighbors and friends. Again, the local businesses affected by this is the cemetery and the gas stations. That's all. That's what's in that 3-block area. Good night.
The next speaker is Katrina Cazzo. For purposes of time, you have 3 minutes.
Good evening, my name is Katrina Casso. I'm speaking on behalf of Lynn Gavino, President of the Throgs Neck Homeowners Association, who can't be here tonight. On behalf of the Executive Board and the members of the Throgs Neck Homeowners Association, I am here to oppose New York City DOT's plan to change East Tremont Avenue from Waterbury to Bruckner from 2 lanes of traffic to 1. We'll make traveling along that intersection impossible by creating a bottleneck that backs up to Westchester Square. It would also make traveling difficult for the police department and the fire department, and may delay them getting to a fire or an emergency. We have seen other areas of the Bronx that have had these changes and feel that they will be detrimental to the community. And we ask the members of Community Board 10 to vote no to this change. We adamantly are against this plan. Thank you.
Can we have a copy of your statement?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. The next speaker will be Mr. Albert Sanfilippo.
I am Albert Sanfilippo, and I own a Malaya View of GMC. I'd like to remind the board that besides the cemetery and the 3 gas stations, there's 2 dealerships, 2 car dealerships, 2 repair shops, and there's a karate shop, 2 medical centers, 2 monument stores, so I'm definitely opposed to it. I think it's going to create a traffic nightmare. I'm afraid of what's going to happen when the Cross Bronx backs up onto 95. Everybody's going to be exiting East Tremont Avenue. They're returning down Crosby because Buckner Boulevard will be all backed up. We're fixing something that's not broken. And I just really oppose this. It's bad for the whole community. Thank you.
Next up is Mike Ciccone.
Yeah, pretty quick, I'm just going to say some thank yous. First thank you is when Bury Avenue was... When Bury Avenue was closed, the MTA first did not have the shuttle going to Pelham Bay, which was unfair to our neighborhood because the regular had the shuttle going both ways, from Castleville and towards our area. So we did not get the same fair treatment. And a lot of people that are disabled were actually having to walk. And a lot of people that don't work on the weekends or don't take the train on the weekends may not have known that Middletown Road for 3 months, even after the MTA finished Middletown Road, was closed on the weekends 24 hours going downtown. So I'd like to thank, and I know I was a pain in the butt, but I'd like to thank for what was accomplished by Ken Kearns and his staff. And I'd like to thank Senator Benedetto that I bothered lots of times. And also, those 2 people mainly, but also Jimmy Backer and Senator Klein's office also. The second thing is, I went to the second labor breakfast. It was very nice. Councilman King was there and other elected officials. And very nice that this has started. And it looks like it's going to be an annual thing. And I also went to a thing that Lou and Sylvia Lask put on. It was a fantastic veterans affair about how suicide is affecting the people returning, and it was very, very good. And also, even though I'm not a de Blasio fan, I am a liberal, but I'm not a de Blasio fan. I like to thank the mayor because he continued the funding for Samaritans of Greater New York. I was a Samaritan for 7 years. And I can tell you that Parachute or Helpline or Lifeline does not do what Samaritans does. And I remember talking to a lot of veterans. And the biggest satisfaction I got, I couldn't do it walk in 7 years, but I did it 7 years. Biggest satisfaction I got was when the 911 operator or the police officer or the EMS officer told me, get off the phone, we got it now. Oh, wow. And what else? And that's about it.
Thank you, Mike. I guess I should have said this at the time that Mr. Russo stood up. I want to thank the DOT Commissioner, Connie Moran, and staff member Keith Cole, because they came out to hear what you had to say as well in all of this, and just in case anything needed to be clarified. So it's not, again, anything being pressed on anyone. We're going to listen to it, we're going to examine it, and we're going to vote on it. So again, I want to thank the DOT for coming to the meeting. The next speaker is Edward Angelino.
Hi, I'm Ed Angelino. I'm representing the Broads Neck Merchants Association, and I just want to echo that we're also against the lane change. We feel that it will take people out of the community because of the traffic that will occur, and
time. So, Ms. Ann Newman, Senator, he has his office.
On behalf of State Senator Ruben Diaz, greetings. If anyone has any needs from the district, the office is located at 900 Rogers Place. Feel free to come at the meeting if you have any questions or concerns. Senator Diaz sends his greetings. Thank you.
Thank you. And, the next speaker is Mr. John Papetto.
Good evening. My name is John Papetto. I'm a lifelong resident of the Bronx. I've lived in this area for, 60 some odd years. I just want to state my opinion about the Tremont Avenue, into one lane from Paisley Avenue to Waterbury Avenue. My opinion, I don't think it's a good idea. It's going to create a bottleneck. We have a busy intersection of East Tremont and Bruckner Boulevard right there, and during the morning rush hours, I see how heavy the traffic runs over in that area. I know the Municipal Service Committee was leaning, I believe, towards doing this. I'd like to say, all the people here, everyone opposed to this idea, raise your hand. Everyone in favor of the idea, raise their hand. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a good evening.
Well, Mr. Papetto, should I continue? The next speaker is Mr. John Serini.
Okay, so first, I want to tell everyone, as John said, I'm a lifelong resident of Drags Neck. I grew up in Drags Neck on Logan Avenue, which turns into Crosby. I now live in Helen Bay near Crosby Avenue. And I have a business in Drags Neck, which is going to be affected by this lane change from 2 to 1. So now I'd like to address my attention to Mr. Joe Russo, who I take great offense, Mr. Russo, in you saying at least this person's an idiot. Because nobody in this room is an idiot. Is anybody in this room an idiot? Nobody's here. And it was done. You know a couple of people in the room that are idiots? Okay, great. So the person who sent this out was through the Pelham Bay Taxpayers Association. I'm a member of that association. I take personal offense to that. You said. Wait, I'm sorry, wait a second. He could address people as idiots and I can't address them.
No.
Okay. Well, you're taking my 3 minutes.
Okay? Nobody was out of order saying that.
Well, nobody.
Okay? It was something that should have been said, and you should deal with that afterwards. Like you could address the subject, all right? Please.
All right, so the next thing that was said was that we told people that it was going from Westchester Square to Bruckner Boulevard. Now, he brought up, and you guys said that it's going only to Paisley Avenue, but clearly it was said it's going to Haskin. Okay, am I correct? Am I correct in saying Haskin?
No, you're not.
Okay, well then it was said incorrectly at the meeting. Okay, that's not my fault that it was said incorrectly at the meeting. But it was said it was going to Haskin. So, now, if you guys know anything on Tremont Avenue, it's already congested on the other side of Bruckner Boulevard. You know you tried to turn Bruckner Boulevard into left turn only lane going each way, and that didn't work out, so you had to take it away and make it straight or left turn. You state that we will, at the meeting in April, it was tabled, and we were told at the Merchant Association meeting by Ken Kearns that it was tabled, but don't worry about it, we'll discuss it more. I'm trying to turn around and address you guys. So, then when I went to the meeting, all by myself, thank God I was there, I all of a sudden was shocked to find out that it was being pushed through as a vote. All right? And I tried to ask the 9 people that were there, please table this, please do not vote on this. But no, it was put through anyway, wasn't it? Even though I was there and I was told that I couldn't say anything about it because I don't have a vote. And no matter what I said, it still went through. It passed, 3 to 6. And by the way, 3 of the board members that were there that are sitting around me today said, why are we even discussing this? It was tabled. And if you make anybody testify, they'll tell you that's the truth. So it shouldn't have been even brought up on a vote. Local businesses will be affected. Okay. All right, just one last thing. I spoke to Father Norton at St. Benedict's, and he's against this too.
Okay, we still have a few more speakers. We have 7 speakers, but not on this issue. But what I want to say is, if anyone has looked at the agenda, and if you haven't, it is here. And I would like you to look so that you can see the items that are going to be voted on tonight, and you'll have an understanding of what it is that we're going to say yes or no to. So if anyone out there have this, does anyone out there have this? All right, I have some copies. Come on, you all got, somebody got to come up and get them. Let's come on up there, and I want you guys to look on page. Okay, if you look on page 4, you will see page 3. You will see the resolutions as they're worded and get an idea of what we're voting on. At this point, we will move on with the public participation session. And the next speaker is Mr. Gideon Cementelli.
Good evening, folks. Thank you. The name is Cementelli, Gideon Cementelli. I'm the director of the Pelham Bay Community Improvement Safety Organization, Inc. I'm here this evening to deliver 173 petitions to the community board. These petitions were submitted to Mr. Vaca and Mr. Benedetto. Now, this is an issue that's been going on since 2013 with one group. Now it's another year with a secondary group. And I'm responding to the letter submitted by this organization who sponsored in Pelham Bay a drug rehab program. And then in the letter they said Cementelli is the only one against this drug facility to be located in Pelham Bay. Well, I just want to let everyone know it's not just me. Cementelli does not bring out 400 people by himself at St. Teresa's. Cementelli does not bring 300 people in front of the hospital protesting. Cementelli does not bring a secondary protest and a third protest. So it's not just about Cementelli. It's about the community of Pelham Bay. The people in Pelham Bay do not want a drug program in Pelham Bay. We do not need 300 ex-drug addicts, ex-convicts in Pelham Bay. I want someone to do something about this. So far, I've been asking for a year. Let me see the contract. It takes what? To show me a contract for this facility. 3 elected officials cannot provide me with a contract. Something very bizarre. In addition to, it's a residential area, and we have this SRO, single room occupancy, in Pelham Bay, and no one cares. Well, Pelham Bay is not the dumping ground for the rest of the Bronx. We're not going to tolerate it. I will hold responsible all of our elected officials, and especially our councilman, Mr. Vaca. And in this evening, as I did at the Pelham Bay taxpayers meeting, I'm going to ask, on behalf of the community, the resignation of Mr. James Vaca today for failure to duty to the community of Pelham Bay. to stand up together, just over this issue of this traffic. We need to stick together and hold everyone accountable. Very simple. I'm not here to be liked. I'm not here to be loved. I'm not here to take a picture with the politicians like everyone else does. I don't care. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, folks. Here are the petitions. Thank you. I sent them out to the world.
Next speaker is Leslie Brown and colleagues.
Hear me? Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Good evening. Sorry. Invest in libraries. So we're asking that you please we're asking all our constituents to please invest in libraries. We're asking for your support for continuing funding for the libraries. We're also asking that you help us with the summer reading campaign. We're having our summer reading kickoff this year. First time in the Bronx. We usually have this major kickoff in Manhattan, so we're having it at the Mark Haven branch in the Bronx. So please support that. That's on 140th Street. So we're asking that you do that. Also, on a smaller note, I'm Leslie Brown. I'm the manager at the Baychester Library, and we're having hotspots. This is a new wireless device that we'll be giving out to, and the criteria are no internet access, 18 and over, and no fines on your library card. So you have to have a library card. So for more information, please call the library. I'm going to pass it over to my colleague.
Hi, my name is Kathleen Carrasco. I'm from the Westchester Square River, the library manager there. In part as well, we are having the library hotspot event, May 26th from 5 to 6. It's our first event. If you do know anybody who does need internet access at home, please encourage them to sign up online for online registration. If they don't know how to do the online registration and come to the library, we will help them sign up through it. It's our first event. We would like to have more events coming up throughout the summer. If you know anyone, please reach out to give to them. And also, again, with advocacy, if you haven't donated, these are only $5, and it's a great way to donate to your library. Small contributions to the library for continued support as well. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies. Next up is Ms. Beulah Nieves, owner of the Fit Body Boot Camp. What's your word? Okay, you wrote it wrong. It's Butch. See what happens when we build your arms too strong.
As he said, my name is Butch Nieves, owner of Fit Body Boot Camp and Mr. America's personal trainer. Yes, I'm a former Mr. America. I've operated a business here since 1987 in this community. And I can say, luckily, we've changed hundreds of lives. We also work with Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, and we do bullying programs. My business is located right now, 3229 East Tremont, smack dab when they want to change this lane thing. It's going to greatly affect my business, probably devastate it completely. Wow. I'm totally against it. You know, we're really worried about what's going to happen. My life investment is in that business. I see this totally unfair, and I see a lot of controversy. I'm still wondering what's really going to happen. Because one group says one thing, another group says another thing. There's no clear advantage. I do like that. Who's for it and who's opposed for it? Who's opposed? Raise your hand. Can't get better than that. Good. Thank you very much, guys.
Next up is Laura Lee. Did I get that right?
Yeah.
Good evening, my name is Laura Leach. I'm with the Bronx Neck Volunteer Ambulance Corps. I'm here to talk to you about two things. First off, on Saturday, May 30th, is the sidewalk fair. We're going to be there in front of John's office, selling our t-shirts, first aid kits, mugs. We're also going to be doing blood pressures. Come by, stop by. We're here to help you guys out. Next thing I want to talk about is this new thing that's going on Bruckner, all the construction that you guys want to do. From the ambulance corps, we don't agree with it. It's bad enough once in a while, trying to go down Tremont Avenue, Bruckner. We can't get people out of our way now. Once this goes through, it's going to be worse for us. We take Bruckner, an easy way to get to the highway, to get to the hospitals. It's a faster route for us. If all this goes on, you're going to make it worse for us. You're going to have the buses in the way. If we have Pitney going down, it's going to be two of us trying to get through, and it's not going to work. So we're against it. I hope you guys agree with us and work with us.
Next up is Lou Rocco.
Hi, good evening. I'm president of Westchester Square Civic. I'd like to give my time to Egidio Cementelli because it saved one community at a time. Egidio, are you in here? Yes. Would you like to speak? My 3 minutes, I give to you.
I've been told through the mail, or the rumor mill, that Mr. Backer wants to push this project through. And I'm referring to the drug center in Pelham Bay. And I'm glad someone asked. I think I'm going to take this cue and ask, how many people are here from Pelham Bay? May I? Would you raise your hand? Do you want the hospital, the former hospital, turned into a supportive drug center? No. Yes or no? No. No. Thank you. So what is the problem here? The problem is that we have elected officials who have taken money from the landlord, who, by the way, the landlord is a billionaire, gives out plenty of money, owns 3 homeless shelters in Manhattan. And he likes to spread his money around, so maybe was that helpful? I think so too. You know, the last word was on the Bronx Times, was quoted, Mr. Backer. Mr. Backer said, I'm in communications with the landlord. The next thing we know, there's another homeless drug program moving in there. We have 12 people. This summer, they're doing construction, they expect 300 individuals. These individuals, they do not give you the subcategories that the federal government gives you. That how they receive the classification to be disabled to be there. 60% of them are from drugs and mental illness. And we just saw in the Bronx what happened up in Riverdale. You know why that happened? Same reason that this group, when we were at Community Board 10, I said, why don't you put these people at Waters Place? Well, because Waters Place, they're downsizing. They want to have less of a footprint in the community. So, what's the best thing? They basically implied what they do, instead of the state spending $35,000 to keep these people basically in quasi-jail, they said they could do it for cheaper, $15,000 a year. So $50,000 a year, this is why they want these type of programs. This is why they want. I don't see them looking to build senior housing, 55 and up, affordable housing. I don't see. All I see is supportive housing. We have to understand, the public has to, this has been a long fight because it's tough to educate people. And because everybody's under the impression these sound bites, affordable housing. Affordable housing has to be specific. And if it's supportive housing, you're going to be with a neighbor, you're going to have a neighbor next door that's been in jail, that's a drug addict, reforming drug addict, that's going to come there after committing crime. And you know what? He's going to be your neighbor. We do not need this. Pelham Bay is not going to be a dumping ground for the politicians. I think they're all responsible. And again, Backer must go.
Next up is Brian Pioli.
Hello, my name is Brian Paoli. I'm from LaSalle Avenue off of Tremont. I do not agree with changing any lane changes on Tremont Avenue. I drive through this city all day long, and everywhere they've done it, it just causes traffic, noise from horns, more pollution, so I'm totally against it.
John Doyle.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm here today, actually, about the matter that so many others have spoken about. It's Tremont. I drive through the community, and some of the comments that have been directed here, I just want to clarify. Everyone who's here is a good person who cares about the community. I'm looking at some of the stuff the community board's been involved in. As everyone here knows, for one small street in Pelham Bay, St. Paul Avenue, it took 7 years in a public meeting to do anything about that. And now for this proposal, there's been 3 meetings. I was only present for one of the meetings. It was one of the meetings where DOT was not there, not invited. There was no PowerPoint that was accessible to the public. There were comments back and forth, but people weren't well educated. And my understanding, and again, I'm not going to say I'm the authority on the issue, my understanding is the community board went from supporting it in March to breaking it up in April and voting for part of it, to just outright endorsing it in May. So it's been an issue where people have been back and forth. And I think the best thing we could do is have a process where the public can come out, can speak, can have their thoughts heard before we do something that will be a permanent consequence to the community from here on. Thank you very much.
Next up is Michelle Toriani.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I hope I'm bringing a little bit of good news tonight. I'm sure we can all work this out, right, Gordon?
wanted to share with the community that on June 6th at 11 a.m. at IS 192, Hope, Convoy of Hope, thank you so much. Convoy of Hope partnered with Crossway Christian Center and Life Together Fellowship on East Fremont Avenue to provide groceries, 1,000 groceries for seniors and people of the community. We're going to have inflatables for the children. We're going to feed lunch, hot dogs and hamburgers all day. We're going to have a health fair / community services for the community, and it's all going to be free. We ask that you send anyone in need or anyone that would be able to spend a day there and enjoy it to come by. There's no selling at all. This is just free to serve the community. I want to thank Martin Prince, Kenneth Kern. I want to thank Monique Johnson. They tried very hard to get us a street permit that we weren't able to succeed in, but we were able to partner with IS 192. The yard is huge. It's on Hollywood and Randall. And we just want to serve this community and love it. So would you help us do that? Thank you so much.
Next up is William Muni.
I'll talk to you.
Hey everybody. Ready for the Zoom? Hi everybody, my name is William Muni. I'm not going to know you Bill. This neighborhood over 20 years and I'm retired now, so when we outside I see a lot of things that store owners don't clean in front of the stores. And it's like people throw garbage, there's a lot of places to open up now. I think they should put pails outside. Every place that has food has pails outside. Keep the neighborhood clean. And all these trees they put up, all the dogs are doing, what are they doing? Dumping in there. Why we put trees for what? We put some kind of defense up on the trees, make the neighborhood look nice. And also, Pilgrim Avenue, the sign you're parking for such a time, take the sign down. We want not paying tickets. We have to sit the truck and they're on the train finish, we want to put the sign down. And also, there's a little park there where some old people cannot go and come in their park, which is eventually, there's drug addicts. There's drug addicts all over. Put the benches back, the people sit in the park. It's only fair. Thank you.
Okay, the public participation session is closed. Prince, I can make a motion to close the public.
So moved. You had our names out.
Where? I read all the stuff.
Eddie Angelino, I was next to Eddie Angelino. I was one of the first people in.
Come forward. What's your name, man?
My name is Gianna Delolio. Forgive me for being so bold.
No, you're not being bold. You're slipping in and I missed it. Give me.
My dad was Dale from B. Brown Jewelers, so maybe I'm following in his footsteps. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. I'm here, not only am I a resident of Logan Avenue, but I'm here as a member of the school leadership team for PS14, and I'd like to talk about the proposed traffic change on Tremont Avenue. Being a resident of Logan Avenue and also having a child at PS14, I hope that all parties involved in this decision have taken into consideration the horrible traffic conditions that exist today on Logan and Crosby. I actually live on the Logan Avenue Expressway. Traffic is constantly coming down Logan and Crosby to avoid Tremont and the backups there. And 1 year from now, in June of 2016, PS14 will begin an expansion, which has been authorized by the School Construction Authority, and we will go from 600 students to 1,000 students. So if you can think about the impact that will have on Crosby and Logan, right in that hot spot by the fire department, it's very, very scary. And for one moment, let's just think about the kids. There are many, many children who walk to and from school. It's an elementary school, but we all know that many, many parents work, and it's a safe neighborhood. But I don't know that 1,000 crossing guards can help everyone cross the street carefully and safely. So I please ask you to reconsider. I know it's a little further down, but again, Tremont Avenue, Logan Avenue will become an extension, and I think Mr. Morano, who's a very close neighbor of mine, he can attribute to what I'm saying. So thank you all very, very much. Thank you. Oh, and I have, I'm sorry, I have I'm very sorry. I got all excited. I have like 600 petitions here, 685.
Okay, was there anybody else that I might have overlooked? Okay.
I now. So now we make a motion.
Okay, there's a motion. Second. Okay, the public participation session is now closed. Before we go on, I just need to take a little executive privilege here and just let you know that this is a controversial issue, it's a controversial vote. It's given a lot of thought, whether anyone wants to think that we did or not. I don't know how the vote is going to eventually turn out, but I hope you all looked on the sheet that you saw the items that are concerned tonight, because I appreciate you coming out. We're here to serve you. We volunteer to do this, and we want to hear your voices naturally. So, again, as I said, we are here, and we do hear your voices. Mr. Sullivan?
I'd like to make a motion to take the agenda out of order and move right on to the municipal service, so that since it's such a hot topic, that we could get this vote on, if you wouldn't mind.
Is there a second to Mr. Sullivan's motion? Okay, then with that, well, before we do that, just have to ask the borough president of mine, wait. Okay, then we will have Mr. Joe Russo, Chair of Municipal Services, who will come up, and I believe he's going to read out his resolution, and we're going to vote on it.
Okay, in addition to this, we did have other business on the committee, so let's take care of the low-hanging fruit first, if not minds. Usually I think the minutes are self-explanatory, tonight they're not, so I need everyone to read the minutes along. The first thing we discussed at the meeting, we had 6 street activity permits, and we have a resolution on the table to approve those street activity permits. Those street activity permits are the Carnival of Love, July 11th, Von Zipper Pig Roast, August 1st, 2015 Summer Block Party, August 15th, Ferry Point Civic Association Block Party, and on August 22nd, and the Harrington Avenue Block Party, August 29th. So we have a resolution there, the recommendation of the Municipal Service Committee, approximately 410, that those street activity permit applications be approved. All in favor?
Motion to approve. Second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. The second thing we discussed in the meeting was the inclusion of bioswales. Again, the minutes on that are pretty, are self-explanatory. Basically, the DEP is going to install 6 bioswales in the area. Bioswales are basically dry wells that are supposed to be used to help relieve storm drain runoff. We asked them, following that meeting, to provide the exact locations where they're going to be and to identify what they're going to be doing in terms of informing the public and public information. Apparently, there were issues with test borings that they did where they were very disruptive to the community. So we asked the DEP to make sure they give us the address of those locations, and then we can follow up on what they're doing from a notification standpoint. Unfortunately, it's not a vote one way or another. The locations, bioswales, have been selected by the DEP because that's where water runs off, and they're trying to protect sewage water from going into Westchester Creek. So the locations are pretty well set, and there's not really much we can do as a committee except monitor what they do from a information standpoint. No one minds, I'm going to skip over the traffic plan for a minute and get rid of the last 2 items, then we can deal with the traffic. We had a presentation from the MTA regarding a proposed plan to increase the number 5 line service from Pella Bay Station on weekends to Bay Plaza. There were some questions about where they're going to be on Bay Plaza, which we asked them to come back with. But we have a resolution that basically says that we agree in concept with the extension of the number 5 bus line to Bay Plaza, with the expectation the agency will return with an amended plan. We weren't happy with the plan they had in terms of where they were stopping, how that would affect traffic at the mall. So resolved, the recommendation of the Municipal Services Committee of Bronx Community Board 10, the committee conceptually support the extension of the number 5 bus line at the mall of Bay Plaza, with the expectation the agency, after hearing the community concerns, will return with an amended plan.
Motion to accept.
Question?
Yes, I'm sorry, but I do. I emailed Ken, CB10, a thing. I just like to explain first, because of some things that were said at that meeting. I work at a place where there are over 700 of my fellow agency people, and a lot of them live in Co-op City, East Tremont, Frogs Neck, and take the 5 bus. I was wrong in one assumption that they would not be for it. The community, the few people of the community and my coworkers that I did talk to on my lunch hour are in favor of the bus. And I put that in my email. However, I am asking, with what you're saying about going over a couple of things about the plan, I am asking that if the 5 on the weekends does go all the way into Bay Plaza, I am asking for Turnbull Avenue at White Plains Road, where the Old Navy is, and the restaurant in the Southview area, right across the street from the mall. I'm asking that the 5 buses from Hunts Point no longer, a lot of them terminate at that area. Because what happens is, my coworkers that live in our community, and people that are in Hunts Point, that don't take that bus and they wait for the 5 that says Pelham Bay. That's not our community board. I just said I have coworkers. There's over 700 HRA people. I have a lot of coworkers that live in this community board. Okay, so I think people that work somewhere else but live in this community board and don't take the train and take the bus back and forth, we should have concern for them too. So I just wanted that suggestion.
Mike, Mr. Kearns, you're going to respond to that very quickly, all right?
But I have one other thing too.
Make it one.
Being that we're talking about safety, okay, there are 2 buses that stop in front of Applebee's right now. So then you're going to add an articulated long bus to that. That's 3 buses. But we're talking about safety. We should also think about the pedestrians. And that stop is a problematic stop. Okay, that's it. I'm done, Chairman. Thank you for listening. Thank you very much.
Now, Mr. Kearns, we're going to bring you up to speed on that,
Okay.
and then we're going to vote.
Mike, thank you. We did get your email, and we did read it, and we do understand it. And we are in the process of issuing the MTA. And the way we wrote the resolution was to conceptually accept the prospect of bringing the bus into Bay Plaza, because we know that people do want to be brought there, and we know the details later. And that's why we did that. We also met with Bay Plaza management, Martin and I, and we spoke with them precisely about what you just brought up. They said that they agreed with us, and they were considering moving the stops entirely away from Applebee's, away from Ringwald Flanagan and the Bay Plaza Mall, and move them over by Macy's. So they're working on that, and we're working on that, so I just want to tell you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Kearns. And thank you, Mr. Russo. You are great. You are a great leader on the municipal committee.
Okay, but you're saying thank you. I didn't stop you. Okay. Can we now vote?
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Was you opposed?
Okay, I'd like to bring up something that was happening.
Any abstentions? Okay. that she went to the CAB meeting, none of the elected officials were there, no one from the board was there, and I think that's something and I asked them to make sure that we're cognizant and notified the next time there's a meeting, because I think it's something that's echoes what Julio was saying before about the public brand. If we're not vigilant, it's not gonna, it's a good question where no one's there. So the next time there's a CAB meeting at the homeless shelter, I think it's critical that we show up as members of the public, community board shows up, and then the elected officials show up. Because there was no one there except for Joe Landon. It's not something that we fought that, and we continue to fight it. But if we're not going to show up at the meetings that are there to hold out their feet to the fire what they promised, it's useless.
Joe, take it up a notch. If the local merchants that are in that area, be it the Trump Golf Course or Applebee's and any of them, they might be able to get notification too. They are the surrounding neighbors as well as Ferry Point.
Well, again, I don't know the notifications, but there was no representation from us. There was no representation from elected officials. There was no representation from the Trump organization. Nobody was there except for Trump. So I think it's important that we continue to fight that and be on that. We got to be diligent and vigilant. Okay. On to the traffic study. There's 4 resolutions on the table. And just to give everyone background as to where this is coming from and what the rationale is. On Monday, October 21st, 2013, a 74-year-old man was crossing East Tremont Avenue and on Puritan Avenue and was hit by 3 cars, 2 going eastbound, 1 going eastbound, 2 going westbound, and died in the middle of the street right there. After that incident, this board reached out to the DOT and has come with some kind of plan, some kind of method to increase pedestrian safety along the corridor over there. Following that, Mayor de Blasio is elected and he starts with his Vision Zero program. So that's the background as to why this proposal came in front of us. And again, this is not new stuff. This is stuff we talked about in March, stuff we talked about in April. And we'll talk about it in May, and this will be the last time we talk about it after we vote. Someone has asked in terms of data. The data the DOT has given us is in that corridor, there's been in a 5-year period from 2009 to 2013, there's been 218 motor vehicle injuries, there's been 58 pedestrian injuries, 21 injuries severe or fatal. That's the rationale why they're doing this. It's not to screw up traffic, it's not to do anything else. It's a safety issue from their standpoint, and when the DOT puts it out there, we're deciding as a board whether we're going to be pedestrian friendly or cars friendly. It's as simple as that. And if you vote against what they're doing, that's fine. It's not, it's a proposal that's out there, and we have to decide what we want to do. But that's the rationale. It's not anyone trying to cut down traffic or hurt business or anything. If you look at the proposal they presented to us in March, April, and May, what they've done is they've come back and broken it down into pieces. Because the proposal they gave us in March was a full proposal from Westchester Square to Bruckner. We asked them to break it down into pieces. They came back to us in May and broke it down into pieces. If you remember from last month, those of you who were there, we already approved the Westchester Square portion of it. From Silver Street to Westchester Avenue. That portion was approved. So there are 4 other pieces they presented to us for approval. And those are the 4 pieces that we're voting on tonight. The board, the committee, approved all 4 of them. 3 of them they approved by a vote of 9 to 1. The 4th piece of it, which is what the DOT calls the road diet, we approved by a vote of 6 to 3 with 1 abstention. Again, we have no skin in the game. We're looking at what's presented by the DOT, we're looking at the stats, we're looking at the facts, and that's what we're voting on. And that's what we have to vote on without emotion, without anything else. Just look at the stats, look at the facts, and decide. And we vote. That's the democratic process.
Are we individually on each?
Yes. So the first resolution, and also I just need to address the issue of cabling. Someone raised the issue of cabling, John raised the issue of cabling. At the last meeting, we had already broken it down into individual resolutions. The resolution that was tabled was the resolution to change the Hudson River Parkway Service Road to One Direction. That was the only resolution that was tabled. There were no other resolutions presented after that resolution was tabled.
Well, that's two of your members didn't say that.
2 of my members were wrong.
Oh, okay. So not only people in this crowd.
No, exactly.
Go forward, Joe. Come on, Bob.
Okay.
Bob.
So, the first resolution is the resolution that was tabled, which comes back. Resolved that the recommendation of the Municipal Service Committee, prosecuting court,
Number 5, Joe.
at the recommendation of the Municipal Service Committee to support the New York City Department of Transportation proposal to convert the Hudson River Parkway Service Road from its present configuration to a one-way southbound road from Roebling Street to East Shore Avenue, and this before to the full board for consideration. This resolution passes the committee by a vote of 9 to 1. That's the resolution on the table.
Motion to accept. Second.
Okay, on the question. Any comments?
So all we're doing is reversing the way the traffic goes.
For
It's one
this-
way, they
for
go
this
south,
resolution,
northbound, they go
The
south.
Hudson Service Road right now goes 2 ways, and then when you get to Roebling, you gotta make you gotta make the right and then the left in front of the Burger King. They're saying this,
No parking spaces.
and no parking spaces taken away. That's the first part. Any questions on that? All in favor of that?
No. We're gonna do a roll call vote.
Okay, we'll do a roll call vote.
Okay, first up, Hannah Cora? No. Yes? Vote? No. Raquel Baez?
Yes.
Robert Barbarelli? Robert Peter?
Yes.
Lenny Blasted? Annie Bowler?
No.
Laverne Burrows? Peter Cantillo is out. Colonel Chen? No. Andrew Chirico? No. Michelle Davila? Pat Devine? Jimmy Gallagher?
No.
Louis Goldstein?
Yes.
Irene Bennell?
Yes.
Yes? Deborah Hunt?
Abstain.
Monique Johnson?
Against.
Rosemary Lifieri?
No.
Diane Locke?
Yes.
Kevin Lynch?
No.
John Morano?
No.
James McQuaid? No. Julian Mazersky?
No.
Mary Jane Masano?
No.
Paul Niedermeyer?
No.
Joseph Anu? Christos? Bahati Pitt?
No.
Louis Popovic?
No.
Mike Piccoli?
Yes.
Lane Primavera? Martin Prince, yes. Michael Prohaska? Don Robert? Ruben Rodriguez?
Yes.
Bishop Rosario? Joseph Russo?
Yes.
Tony Salambini? Yes. Alfred Santiago? Reggie Sawyer?
Abstain.
Naida Samaj?
Abstain.
Peter Sullivan?
No.
Telerico.
Yes.
Marjorie Velasquez. Okay, results of the vote on the Hutchinson River Service Road change. Before we even go into that, I know what the results are, but I'd just like you guys to know, because yesterday morning, as I was on my way to the office, I made a turn coming onto that street from Westchester. And I almost got into a head-on collision because there was a woman that was coming southbound on that, northbound on that street, and blew through the stop sign and was trying to get to Westchester Avenue. So had my brakes not been good and her brakes not been good, I wouldn't be here tonight. But I didn't think everybody thought about that, and maybe I should have said it before the vote. But that street is very dangerous, and we are going to have a very bad condition here one day.
Can I ask a question? Just in terms of because what you're talking about really has to do with the traffic light, not necessarily lane lights. But let me just ask this question in terms of when Joe was talking about the pedestrian who got hit and the DOT did the study, was that considered maybe lengthening the lights? Like, where was he hit? In the middle?
Okay,
Like, I just don't know.
That's a different resolution that's coming up. So you can ask the question when we find that resolution. Results of the vote is 12 yes, 16 no, 6 abstentions.
Okay. So that resolution is defeated. That street will be a two-way street. And we'll start the traffic on Roebling in front of Burger King. So I hear your question. We asked them for a series of things, including traffic, including signage, traffic light changes, and also after that, the Vision Zero thing came into effect. So they came up with other plans and this increased one. Okay. Resolution 2. The second part of the plan deals with, there's a painted island at the intersection of Erickson and East Tremont, right between the East Tremont Diner and the parking lot of the East Tremont Diner. And the part of the plan is to replace a portion, not the whole painted island, but a portion of the painted island with a concrete island to make it easier and safer for people crossing across between the diner and the parking lot. Because then you got the cars coming off the hutch over there as well. So again, resolved that the recommendation of the Service Committee, the Bronx City Board 10, the painted island at the intersection of Erickson Place and East Tremont be replaced by a concrete island. This before the full board. The resolution passed the committee by a vote of 9-1.
Motion.
That's part 2.
Motion to accept.
Second.
On the question.
Bob.
I just want to state for the board members that each of these resolutions stand alone. The community, I believe, came out to complain about the left turn lanes with that 3-block radius. These other resolutions are totally separate. They all address pedestrian safety. All right? These other resolutions do not do any road narrowing. They are simply pedestrian safety measures that this board asked for last time DOT came before us. Thank you.
Joe?
Anyone else have a question?
Joe? I used to work right over there. It used to be a place called Square Electric. That little island's been painted there for 25, 30 years, and they always put signs up, and you always see the signs getting knocked over. So instead of a painted island, they want to put a concrete one there. So just to clear it up, that island has been there for years and years. It's been painted. Now they want to build it up so that the signs don't get knocked over as much. And it would also make it a lot easier for people crossing, that they have a safer place to stand.
Other questions? Roll call vote?
Okay, roll call vote.
Okay, roll call vote.
Anna?
Yes.
Raquel Baez?
Yes.
Robert Barbarelli? Robert Peter?
Yes.
Annie Bowler?
No.
LaFarge Burrows?
Yes.
Colonel Chin?
Yes.
Andrew Chirico?
No.
Michelle Davila?
Yes.
Virginia Gallagher?
Yes.
Louis Goldstein?
Yes.
Irene Gunnell?
Yes.
Deborah Hunt?
Yes.
Monique Johnson?
Yes.
Rosemarie Lefebvre?
Yes.
Lefebvre?
Yes.
Diane Locke?
Yes.
Kevin Lynch?
Yes.
John Morano?
Yes.
James McQuaid?
Yes.
Julian Mazersky?
No.
Mary Jane Sano?
No.
Carl Niedermeyer?
Yes.
Joseph Anwu?
Yes.
Bahari Pitt?
Yes.
Louis Popovich?
Yes.
Michael Piccoli?
Yes.
Lane Rivera? Martin Prince, yes. Michael Pahasika? Ruben Rodriguez?
Yes.
Joseph Russo?
Yes.
Tony Salambini?
Yes.
Reggie Sawyer?
Yes.
Aida Samaj?
Yes.
Peter Sullivan?
Yes.
Rocco Talarico?
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
What was the count on the first vote?
The tally on the first vote was 12 yes, 16 no, and 6 abstentions. So that motion was defeated.
With a no.
With a- The noes carried.
Say it again?
The noes carried on the change to the Hutchinson River Service Road.
Where's the vote on the second resolution?
They're still counting. They're still counting.
Do they know the size of that island? Will it be the same dimension as the painted lines?
Exactly.
No, be less.
Smaller?
Small.
And, majority was yes on the second resolution, so the yes is carried on that one. 30 yes.
30 yes, 4 no, no abstentions. Okay, the third resolution to vote on is what the DOT is called the road diet. And again, just to be clear as to what that entails, the road diet consists of converting Tremont from Waterbury to Baisley from 4 lanes to 3 lanes, widening the parking lanes from 9 feet to 13 feet, and having a 14-foot turn lane in the middle. That's the road diet. So it's going from 4 lanes to 3, wider parking lanes, and a turn lane in the middle of the road.
What street?
From Waterbury to Baisley.
It says Bruckner on your paperwork.
Waterbury to Baisley.
So your paperwork is wrong. Okay.
The paperwork is wrong. Waterbury to Baisley. Okay, so resolve the recommendation of the Municipal Service Committee, Bronx Street 110. Yeah.
What is the rationale for the change?
The rationale for the change is that it increases the ability of pedestrians to get across the street, and it limits the speed around that 3-block area where the cars will come around the wide turn at 7:30.
Joe, just for clarification, could we get like landmarks for those streets? I believe it's the used car from Ilea and the gas station, the new speedway, I guess it's called. Those, is that correct in saying that's the?
On a point of order, we need a motion and a second before we can open for discussion.
So let's read the resolution and get the discussion. So resolved that the recommendation of the Municipal Service Committee, Bronx Street 110, the East Tremont to Bruckner plan referencing the narrowing of the roadway from 4 lanes to 3 lanes between Baisley Avenue, it's got to be corrected, and Waterbury Avenue along East Tremont be approved, and this information forwarded to the full board for its review. Resolution passed the committee by a vote of 6 to 3 with 1 abstention. On the resolution.
Motion to accept.
Second.
Okay, that's the question.
Joe, may I get a landmark verification of whether these streets exist? Just for clarification for the board to vote on, so they are fully aware of what streets.
On Waterbury and Tremont is a Malay dealership.
Okay. And then that would be the speedway would be Baisley?
Yeah.
Okay, am I right in saying that? Is that Baisley right there?
Baisley is where the piano goes.
Or the apple, okay. So between the speedway and, yeah. Thank you.
And the Malay dealership. Bob.
I'd like to request that we amend the motion to eliminate the turning lane, as I feel that this is really the only controversial part. So I would like to amend it to eliminate the turning lane, to leave the widening of the parking lane so that you got room for the bus to pull over without having to block the lane that it's doing now. So you have room for the accessorized vehicles to drop their passengers without blocking the lane like they do now, and it's not going to slow down any of the traffic by maintaining the same number of lanes.
I would say no, but Bob's proposal?
No.
All in favor?
Vote the way it is.
Anybody in favor?
No.
No, wait.
John, the proper thing is, as you know, we'd have to vote down this motion and then amend it. So,
Okay.
All right, so on.
we gotta do this vote.
On the question, Mr. Chairman.
On the question.
Wasn't that the recommendation of DOT? And that was what they presented, so actually our motion essentially replicates the recommendation by DOT. So we're gonna have to, if we do that, we would have to go back to DOT to see if they would accept that.
DOT stated at the committee meeting that they could do that.
But why did they vote on
Well,
it?
why don't we vote this down?
No, they didn't.
If that's what they want to do,
DOT recommends us at the committee that they can do it.
That'll bring us back.
we're not, just not going back to committee again.
Mr. Chairman, also on the question, I need to remind the fellow board members.
And DOT is present if you want to ask a question.
I also need to remind the board members that DOT expressly mentioned in our committee meeting that if we defeat this motion, that they're not going to go back to redo a study we had requested for, and spent the past almost year, sort of filtering so that we get something that was palatable to the majority of this committee.
I just have one. This proposal from DOT, was this the first proposal, or was it worked through with the back and forth, like this?
The question is this the first proposal from DOT? The answer is, when they came to the March meeting, they gave us the full proposal, and through the process of the committee meetings, we broke it down into individual subsections to see what was working, what didn't, because the Westchester Square Business Improvement District was adamant that they wanted the changes to Westchester Square that we voted on last month, as far as the increased traffic islands and the better lanes for signage and so on. So we approved that one, so we knew this part was gonna cause difficulty, so let's break it up into various parts to get what we can and move it on. Andy?
Joe, let me just remind everybody, the businesses and the neighborhood people do not want Tremont changed. That's why they're all here. And that's what you're voting on, whether to change it or leave it alone. And I say vote.
Anything else on the question? All right, move to a vote.
Joe, I'd like to mark that if I may.
I made a motion to move for a vote. It was approved.
We talked about pedestrian safety. I always say, what if somebody has to die first? Well, people are dying on Tremont Avenue. Excuse me. So we're trying
Spoken about in committee.
Some places on the turning lane.
Spoken about in committee.
If you want to know if they'll accept the proposal without the turning lanes,
Bob.
ask DOT.
Bob.
I have the floor, don't I?
Get out of order.
I have the floor.
No, you don't have the floor. You do not have the floor, and you are not recognized. We're now going to move forward with the vote as the chair put the resolution. On this switching of these lanes, Hannah?
What does the committee recommend?
Committee voted 6-3 in favor. 6-3 in favor, with one abstention.
Favor of the change?
Yes. That's why it's in front of the full board. If we killed it in committee, it wouldn't be here.
Next voter, Raquel Baez.
No.
Robert Barbarelli. Robert Peter.
Yes.
Andy Bowler.
No.
Laverne Burrows.
No.
Colonel Chin.
No.
Anthony Tirico.
No.
Michelle Navila.
No.
Virginia Gallagher.
No.
Louis Goldstein. Steve. Lou.
Give me another minute to decide how I'm gonna go. I'm gonna vote no on this. Deference to the merger.
Irene Burnett.
No.
Deborah Hunt.
No.
Monique Johnson.
Negative.
Mary Gary.
No.
Diane Locke.
No way.
Kevin Lynch.
No.
John Morano.
No.
James McQuaid. No. Julian Mazersky.
No.
Mary Jane Masano.
No.
Carl Niedermeyer.
No.
Joseph Arnold.
That's it?
Bahati Pitt.
No.
Louis Bakovic.
No.
Mike McCauley.
Abstain.
Elaine Primavera. Martin Prince. No. Ruben Rodriguez.
Yes.
Joseph Russo.
Yes.
Tony Salambini.
No.
Reggie Sawyer.
No.
Naida Samad.
No.
Peter Sullivan.
No.
Rocco Talarico.
No.
Even without tallying the votes, you all clearly know. It's good to see you.
abstention? Okay. Good.
I just want to back it up. On that triangle, are they gonna put permanent, like triangle bumpers, or they're gonna put like parking lot bumpers, so the internet moves away?
It's not moving.
Stipulated it should be permanent?
It's not moving. Okay, the fourth resolution. Again, when we looked at the plan, there was an issue with Whitmore Avenue and Puritan, where basically the plan is to narrow the pedestrian walkway to make it a shorter crossing. So to basically build out the sidewalk so it lessens the curve and has a smooth flow of traffic, but it's a shorter pedestrian walkway. The DOT's advised that regardless of whether we approve the road diet part, which we just declined, or not, they can still do that work on Littlemore Avenue, which is right at the entrance to St. Raymond's, so just to narrow that crosswalk. So we have a resolution there, resolved the recommendation of the Municipal Service Committee that the plan to narrow the roadway at Littlemore, Puritan, and East Tremont without the road diet plan be approved by the committee and forward to the full board for their review. So again, this is a fourth part. It's got nothing to do with decreasing traffic lanes on Tremont. It's a question of where the entrances to St. Raymond Cemetery, building out the sidewalk so it's not that long of a crosswalk across. It's not going to change traffic lanes in any way.
Motion to accept?
Second.
On the question?
Joe, how long is it? How long is it gonna be extended? Do we know?
I don't have the answer. I have it. It's in the presentation that everybody was given in March.
I think they were reducing from 90 feet to 60 feet.
Yeah,
Is that right, Tom? Right?
90 feet to 60.
90 feet to 60
From
feet.
90 feet to 60 feet.
But Tremont stays 2 lanes still.
Yes.
It's a matter of
That's the way
yes.
it is.
4 lanes.
4, yes, that was what I mentioned.
Tremont's not gonna be touched.
No parking spaces being lost.
They're only making those, corners wider, that's it.
It's kind of what they did in Wood Park, for such a long distance.
Joe, on the question.
Over there, what they're talking about is that one entrance to St. Raymond Cemetery, then you have that turn to Whittemore. Now, when you got cars parked on both sides of the street, and you're coming out, and someone goes to turn, you can't turn because there's cars parked on both sides of the street. So if you narrow this down, it's going to make that much more of congestion. So we got to really think that one out. Even though it's not going to affect Tremont, it's going to affect the cars that are going up and down Whittemore because you're narrowing it down and you have the entrance for the cemetery there too. So it's not just an open, closed, easy thing. You know, there is a little congestion there if you ever go up there. A lot of people don't use that cemetery road, but there is traffic there, especially when you have the red light, someone's trying to get out and someone's trying to get down.
But no parking signs there.
Anything else? On the question? Okay, take it to a vote.
Okay. Hannah?
No.
Raquel Baez?
Yes.
Robert Barbarelli?
No.
Robert Peter?
Yes.
Andy Bowler? Laverne Burrows?
No.
Colonel Chin? Colonel Chin?
Colonel
Chin? Colonel Chin, how do you vote? How do you vote? Andrew Chirico?
No.
Michelle Davila? Virginia Gallagher? Louis Goldstein?
I pass.
Irene Bennell? Jimmy? Deborah Hunt? Monique Johnson.
I'm thinking.
Pass.
Abstain.
Rosemary Michiari.
Abstain.
Diane Locke.
No.
Kevin Lynch.
No.
John Morano.
Abstain.
James McQuaid.
No.
Julianne Mazurski.
No.
Mary Jane Masano. Carl Niedermeyer.
Abstain.
Bahati Pitt.
Abstain.
Louis Popovich. Michael Piccoli.
Yes.
Mark Prince, yes. Ruben Rodriguez.
Yes.
Joseph Russo.
Yes.
Tony Salambini.
Yes.
Reggie Sawyer.
Abstain.
Naeem Samad. Peter Sullivan.
No.
Rocco Talarico.
Yes.
All right? Louis.
All right, the motion is defeated, 10 yeses, 14 noes, 9 abstentions, so the change won't take place. So, start your engines, it's open season for pedestrians on Fremont Avenue. Good night, everybody.
All right, thank you, Joe. So again, as you heard, 3 of the resolutions were defeated. The only resolution to pass is to make the now painted traffic circle into a concrete one. Now move on to further business. Okay, can I get a motion to accept the minutes of the... Motion to accept the minutes. All right, I'm repeating myself there. I'm getting a little lost with the time too. So we will now have the Borough President's representative to speak to you.
Hi, good evening, everyone. For the community board members, reappointment letters were sent out earlier today, so you should be getting your letter by Tuesday or Wednesday for those that are up for reappointment. Anyone in the general audience that applied for community board membership, letters were also sent out earlier today. Some letters will probably go out next week. So apply Sorry about that. Community board members up for reappointment. Letters were sent out today. You should be getting your letters Tuesday or Wednesday. Those are the general public. Letters were sent out as well, so you should be getting a notification. You got approved to the acceptance to the community board as well Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday of next week. And with that being said, happy Memorial Day weekend.
Next, we'll have the district manager's report. Kearns.
Thank you, I'll be really brief. It's budget consultation time again at the community board. So this is the time of year that we ask for the input from the community on what you need in the city's capital and expense budgets. So every year we put together this document, and it's about a long document. So we're asking for ideas from the community. Please contact the board office. Please contact me with your ideas as to what you think the city should be building in our community board and how you think they should be maintaining it. So that will be my report. Thank you.
Okay, next up is the executive committee report. I'm trying to make it short as well. If all of the board members in your package, you should have a draft copy of the bylaw. The story behind that is that when the election season came up, I was under the impression I was going to for a 2-year term, and I went back to the bylaws to double check, was it a 2-year term or a 1-year term? What I then discovered was that we had never adopted the bylaws that we have been using, and as a result, it kind of reverts itself somewhat, except for the change of the 4-year term limits. We still have an election each year for each position. In order to go forward and adopt this document, which is now 19 years old, so we need to do this anyway. So each of you has a copy of these proposed bylaws. Please take a look at it, make sure that you see what is correct there, any thoughts that you may have. We are not voting on this tonight, but it will be ready for voting at our next formal meeting in June to be adopted then. If anyone sees any changes or any areas of concern, please contact the board office and contact myself. But we'd like to have it prepared for us to vote to adopt these bylaws so that we can legitimize ourselves in that way. Yes.
On this, if there are any changes from the other members, will that be shared with us?
Any changes that the members recommend, we will discuss in the executive area, and we will have to discuss it at the next meeting prior to adoption. Again, the biggest area of change of these documents is in the area regarding the terms of office and the cycle for elections. So you should give that some thought, because I don't know if we want to limit ourselves to having our executives, board members running for election every year. If we want them to have a 2-year term or 1-year term, you need to think about that, because it does get a little difficult. As I said, I thought I was under a 2-year term, and I read the bylaws, and there was so much confusion, and then discovered that they just weren't, hadn't been adopted, they weren't legitimate. So we're going to clean that up and get it onto the website as soon as we finish the process. And this is the process. We get a month before the next meeting, in which we look to vote to adopt. So again, read it carefully, read it soon. Any concerns that you have, please forward to the board office so that we can take consideration of this. These are the rules that we operate by, and it should be such that we're all satisfied with it.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
I have a question on what you said, and I want to address it to you and not to the our director. We have the committee on voting. If I don't know when we're going to vote, but I don't think it's right that we would vote for positions until this is taken care of.
No. Well, see, in that respect, Mike, that concerns me too. But, you know, didn't want it to be disrupted. That's why, if you look at this document, it says, 1-year term with a 4-term limit. I don't know if 1-year terms are convenient or not.
But my thing is, maybe, so next month is June and then July we're off, then maybe we should meet in July to do a vote and